Today we're talking about Nolensville, Tennessee, one of the top suburbs of Nashville, Tennessee. And what are the few key things that make this an absolute must see and must know about if you're moving to the Middle Tennessee area? Let's get into it. Tucker, tell us, where is Nolensville and why is it significant in any way?
Sure, Clay. So obviously Nolensville is about 15-20 minutes from Cool Springs, and Cool Springs is half of Brentwood and Franklin. So you're very close to all the shops and restaurants that really make up the retail community of Williamson County.
That's right. And it sits there, it kind of straddles that Davidson County, Williamson County line. So there are parts of Nolensville that are in Davidson County, which we talk about in a lot of our videos, the difference between these two counties, because they are brother and sister, but they are very different. And so you have to know most of it is in Williamson County, which means lower tax rates, different school systems, all that. But the northern part of Nolensville is actually in Davidson County, so it's not obvious to everybody, but you need to know that if you're moving here because there's some differences. Tucker, what are some of the pros of Nolensville, Tennessee?
Well, you hit the hammer on the head with the Williamson County side, which is the Williamson County schools. The people that we talk to that have families that are trying to move here, one of the questions they're really asking is like, look, we're trying to have that hometown feel of a school that has really that community, that connection. And Nolensville has to be one of those main conversations.
Absolutely. And the quality of life is pretty great. You know, one of the next reasons on the pros side of things is going to be the crime rates. We can't really speak a whole lot about crime rates, but check the maps. A lot of people are moving to Nolensville because of the lack of crime. So it's kind of a thing that's noteworthy, and it helps affect the quality of life. And I think part of that, Tucker, to me is like there's not a low-end housing area in Nolensville. There's kind of a baseline that kind of creates a barrier to entry in general, and a lot of people really like that about it. And that brings it to another point, like there's not a big public transit situation there. It's commuter area, people are in cars, it's hard to walk. You can't really walk there from anywhere. It's not close to something, so it's a little bit of a drive, which again creates a barrier to entry. You know, pros and cons to having to drive there. You're not really close to I-65 or 24. It's kind of in between. That can be a negative in my opinion because it's a little further to get to the interstate, but it protects that whole area and that ecosystem, like you said, because of where it is, right?
Well, absolutely. But with that, if you want to talk about a con, Clay, that it does have that conversation of traffic. When you think of Williamson County, it's home of the 2-lane road. And that also includes Nolensville. So even Nolensville Road, which goes right on through the main area, it's 2 lanes. They're working on making it 5, but all your arteries are really 2-lane roads. So know that whatever your commute is into Cool Springs or downtown or even the airport, it's going to take you a little longer than if you were in a true Franklin or Brentwood area.
Man, that's exactly right. That, you know, it's again, pros and cons. To me, one of the big things about Nolensville is that it kind of just feels like one road goes straight through the whole thing. There's kind of a lack of a town center, which is funny because that's one of our other points is that they've done a master plan for a town center to come to Nolensville. This is going to be a game changer. Currently, it feels like you just blow through Main Street and it's just traffic, and it lacks something that I feel like this town center development is really going to solve. It's going to give people a place to walk and to kind of circulate and to have different shops to go to. So it's going to be a game changer, and that's on the horizon for Nolensville. So if you consider moving there, you gotta learn about this town center master plan development. It's a really big deal.
Yes, because you're going to have retail on the bottom. You're going to have condos above it. You're getting a brand new Publix. But they're trying to continue to add to that sense of community. The community leaders have spent a long time trying to have a center point, kind of an entrance into Nolensville to really provide that connection, and that's what they're doing.
That's exactly right. It's a 27-acre master plan town center that's coming. So, you know, one of the nice things about other similar suburbs like Franklin is you got the downtown square. Brentwood has a few town centers. There's not a true one here in Brentwood, but communities that really make sense, like historic communities, have that town square feel, and that's what they're going to develop in Nolensville. So super excited about that. One of the other things that we are super excited about is the Fington community. This is a Southern Land development, 370 acres roughly. Southern Land is one of the developers we talk about in a lot of our videos because they've done very noteworthy neighborhoods all over Williamson County, including West Haven, in Laurelbrook and Windstone and Carenbridge. Their next iteration is going to be in Nolensville. Over 700 homes. They do just phenomenal master plan communities, heavily landscaped sidewalks, the kind of places that you are like, you want to go and live and never leave because their storybook and their charm and their architecture, you know, most of them are rear alley loaded entries, so you don't see cars all over the place. They're just really, really nicely done. So that's coming to Nolensville. Definitely very excited about that, especially if you are somebody who maybe you like the West Haven concept or this concept, but you want probably a lower price point. It's going to be, I think it's going to fit into that mold. So it's definitely something to follow along with us that's coming in Nolensville here very, very soon.
Sure. And when you talk about different price points, what most people that we talk to that are moving to Nolensville, what they like is you're going to get about a 3,000 square foot home, give or take. You're going to get that 3-car garage. You want to do that in Franklin or Brentwood or Thompson Station, you're going to drop down to the 2-car garage. But when people move here, they have a little bit more stuff. That extra garage is a real big benefit.
That's right. And I feel like, Tucker, people need to know kind of general price points, especially if you get on the northern side of Nolensville. That's technically a Davidson County address. You're going to see a price decrease. You can see product in really in like the 500 category, $500,000, $600,000. I think once you cross that county line, it goes up, you know, and really you can see a variety of homes, but you're going to have limited options under about $600,000 or $700,000. And they go up to, where would you say they go up on the higher end, Tucker?
You're going to start capping out closer to 1.2 million right there.
That's exactly right. And we've had, you know, that's kind of the category we're talking about. We do actually have a listing in Nolensville that we're going to jump in and show you the video of here. And it's going to be right around that $700,000 category, 2,400 square foot, single level house, you know, in Bent Creek. That's the name of the community there, which is a great neighborhood. They've got community pool, playgrounds, tons of walking paths and all that stuff, common ground. Great places to meet other families. Welcome to Middle Tennessee. We are out here in the Nolensville area of Williamson County. And this is an absolutely gorgeous neighborhood that we're in today. This is Bent Creek, one of the larger subdivisions and probably more well-known for Nolensville. This is gonna be about a 340-acre development. It's got community amenities like the pool and common ground and tons, miles of paved walking and running paths. There's a playground over here. And if you stay to the end of the video, we also have a brand new listing that we're putting on the market that's right here in the action. If you have kids or if you like the idea of watching the activity, it's just, you're gonna be in the mix right here. So it's literally across this hedgerow and you're gonna come hang out at the pool as much as you want. So some of the homes in this neighborhood back up to other homes and have tighter lots. Ours is actually opens up to all these community amenities. So again, Williamson County Schools, this is going to be 37135. This particular house that we're putting on the market is for the low $700,000 category, 4-bed, 3 full baths. And I'm just going to take you over here to show you this pool setup. The kids are in school, so it's not fully opened up and active yet, but this is the place to be in the summertime. Bent Creek in Nolensville. One of my favorite things about Nolensville is that it has Martin's Barbecue, a really well-known barbecue place in Tennessee. And it's just down the road, so you can hit the Martin's up, then you can come walk it off the trails. You can take the kids to the playground, and you'll just see miles and miles of walking paths back here. Very cool. And what you are seeing now is the Tennessee countryside. Is absolutely gorgeous, and it's a little windy. So when the kids are not in school, they're gathering, playing ball, playing on the playground, hitting the pool. The neighborhood is going to be primarily zoned for Mill Creek Elementary, Mill Creek Middle, and Nolensville High School, which is one of the most outstanding, newer Williamson County schools. Amazing campus. Tell you what, I'm just seeing these ruck vests everywhere. Have you tried the ruck? Have you rucked? I have not, but there might be something there. Kind of interesting. All right, I had to pop out and show you this little micro park that is also part of the neighborhood in Bent Creek. And as you can see, there's lots of rock. Fairview is kind of known for having a lot of rock. But in this case, they made it into a cool little micro park for the neighborhood just here on one of the corners. Birds are chirping, and this reminds me of West Haven, kind of, where there's all these little micro parks sprinkled throughout the neighborhood. But this one is actually really kind of amazing. These rock formations are very cool. Love it. And Tucker, there's another neighborhood that people need to know about that they can actually bike to school, right?
Well, yeah. So funny story, Clay, is we were at Nolensville High School for a middle school soccer championship. And we got there early before the bell rang, and school lets out. And the middle school is right next to Nolensville High School. And the number of kids that ride bikes at this area was absolutely incredible. And they all go right on through to all these different neighborhoods. You had some parents walk up, come meet their kid on their bike and go. But it was really neat to see. I hadn't seen that many bikes at a school since I was 6 years old.
Man, that's right. Summerlin is the neighborhood. And the coolest thing about this, if you are a family looking to move to town and you maybe have kids over multiple ages, you've got an elementary, middle, and high school all right there, basically on the same campus. And it's all adjacent to Summerlin, which is a huge neighborhood. And so you could potentially have your kids walk to school, bike to school. Think about how much time you could save drive. I feel like all I do, Tucker, is drive kids around to school, back from school, to sports, back from school. You could eliminate so much drive time if you live in that neighborhood in Nolensville. So pro tip, look at Summerlin if you're thinking about that neighborhood or Nolensville at all. You could save a ton of time. And I think the more traffic we see in Nashville, the more I see a premium on location. Being able to walk to school can eliminate a ton of time.
Oh, absolutely. And I think the theme here with Nolensville, whether we talked about the schools, what they're doing for community connection, that's really what people have found. That's the feedback we've received on why they really liked Nolensville.
That's right. You also have farmers markets, and I tell you what, when you're out in Nolensville, you're going to go from farm to neighborhood to farm, and it kind of feels a little more rural. And Tucker actually grew up, when I was first born, I lived in Nolensville for the first few years of my life. Our family lived in like a log cabin, which was crazy because we just sold it a few years ago. Parents had rented it out for a long time. But my earliest childhood memories are right there in Nolensville by the baseball fields, in the community center right there. And back then it felt very rural. It was like we'd go to pick your own berries at these farms and things like that. Development has come, but it still has a lot of that feel of old historic countryside, kind of area, which is pretty special. And so something people need to know about for sure.
Yes, I think anytime you start driving around any of those neighborhoods, and by the way, your price point can go really high. They're very well manicured. They're well taken care of. Your dollar goes really far for the part of Williamson County you're in. And I think that's why it continues to draw more and more people. Also, Clay, while you're there, two places I really like. I love Martin's Barbecue. If you get a chance, you can just Google him and learn more about Martin. Neat guy, fantastic products. Also, just because we have one in Brentwood and they take most of our money, which is a Waldo's Chicken and Beer.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. It's like a very regular occurrence. They cook all their chicken and beef tallow is what I learned, which is part of the reason. That's part of their secret sauce. Waldo, I was never a fried chicken guy at all. And now I'm like, take my money. Like, it's just so good, Tucker. Their sauces are good. Their chicken wings are insane, and they have a few different locations around Middle Tennessee now, so definitely frequenting Waldo's. Shout out. Tucker, anything else you want to cover in this video?
Sure. A couple things I want people to know about Nolensville that is probably pretty obvious. There's no nightlife in Nolensville. You got some restaurants, and you've got a bunch of rooftops. You have a fire department and a police department, and that's really it. So if you are looking to get out on the town, you're going to need to go into Nashville.
Yep, well said. That's exactly right. And I think the other noteworthy thing is that as you go south of Nolensville, it eventually goes down and hits 840, which is a big connector interstate loop. That's going to really be that's the future path of growth. That's where College Grove is. You've got a bunch of super high-end neighborhoods on the south side of Nolensville, and there's lots of mini farms and that rural feel. That's the future right there. So Nolensville is in a pretty interesting location in proximity, striking distance to Nashville, Brentwood, Cool Springs, Franklin, and that 840 corridor. Tucker, if people are looking at Nolensville, what other areas do you think they should at least know about or consider?
Sure. If you're looking somewhere around that $1 million price point, you can drop into College Grove, which Wall Street Journal has written 100 articles on one of the fastest growing parts of Williamson County, because you have Reedsvale in there. Anything near Arrington, I would definitely check out Thompson Station. you're going to be able to get a lot between that $1.2, $1.3 million price point.
Tucker, there's an outlet mall coming to, a luxury outlet mall coming to Thompson Station. That's not that far away. That's on that 840 corridor as well. So it's worth knowing about if you're looking to move here. Again, my name is Clay, and Tucker and the team and I, we get contacted every single day from people like you looking to move to Tennessee and make Nashville or the surrounding areas home. That's you. Hit us up. You can text us, call us, or leave a comment, and we will look forward to talking with you. And until next time, hope to show you around town.